Hey guys, my name is Angelica Renee, and today we're going to be talking about how I found out I was 17 and pregnant. And my mom found out with me, so you'll know her reaction too. So it's pretty much how I found out and my mom's reaction. And my son's trying to come down here to be in this video. For real? Really? Yeah. So me and my boyfriend were only together for 6 months before we found out that we were pregnant. And how I found out was I was feeling really sick one night. So my mom was just like, "Okay, you can just I'm gonna feel your head in the morning, see if you're like hot or not, and if you still don't feel good, you just don't have to go to school." So the next day came. She walked in the room at 6 o'clock, and she felt my head, and I was actually like burning up. So she was like, "Yeah, you just stay home." So I ended up staying home. I went back to sleep, and I woke up at 12. And at 12, I started texting my boyfriend, and I ended up feeling really nauseous, like I was gonna throw up. So I was like, "Okay, I'll be back." So I ran to the bathroom, and as soon as I got the toilet lit up, I threw up 3 times back to back. And I was freaking out because what I threw up was this thing called yellow bile. And at the time, I didn't know that's what it was. And it looks like this yellow, stringy stuff. And apparently, it's if you haven't ate, and you have to throw up, it's the bottom lining of your stomach that you throw up. So at the time, I didn't know what it was. And I texted my mom, and I was like, "Mom, I am dying. Like, I'm throwing up yellow stuff and I don't know what to do. I need to go to the hospital." So she's like, "Okay, if you're still throwing up and you still don't feel good, I'll take you tomorrow morning." Because she was at work at the time, so she couldn't just leave work. So the next day came, and I, like, as soon as I woke up, I threw up. So she's like, "Yeah, let's go to the hospital." And I threw up the same thing, by the way, because I didn't eat again. Like, I didn't eat that morning, so I was throwing up the same thing. So she got to see it, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm taking you to the hospital." So, like, as soon as we went, we were the, like, only people there because really early. It was, like, 7 o'clock when we got there. And so we, like, got a room right away. Like, right away we got a room. And so as soon as we went to the room, the doctor, like, asked, "Oh, so what's going on?" And pretty much just asking like everything that was happening. And I told him, and he was like, "Is there any chance you could be pregnant?" And I was like, "No, there is no way I could be pregnant." And so he's like, "Okay, well, you have to pee in a cup, so like we can see if like there's like if we can tell anything by your pee, and just in case we have to give you medication, we have to make sure you're not pregnant." So I was like, "Okay." So I went to the bathroom. I ended up peeing, and it took me like forever to pee, by the way, because I already peed before I went there. So I was in the bathroom for like 10 minutes before I actually got to pee. So I finally went back into the room, and I handed it to him. He's like, "Okay, well, thank you. I'll come back with like any results and let you know more when they come back." So me and my mom was just sitting there waiting, and she was like, "You better not be pregnant." And she was talking about getting me on birth control and stuff, like right after, like she's like, "As soon as we leave, I will go and get you on birth control." Because I didn't tell her that I was sexually active. My cousin actually snitched on me like a couple days before we went to the hospital. So she only knew for like 3 days that I was sexually active. And so we were talking about putting me on birth control and stuff like that. And as soon as he came back, like 30 minutes later, he ended up telling me, like, right away, "You're pregnant." And I ended up, like, I jumped off the bed. And I was like, "How? Wait, no, there's no way. Like, how could I be pregnant?" And he was like, "You know how." And my mom, like, as soon as I looked at her, she just like bawled her eyes out. And I still hate that day. I hate seeing her like that. I never want to disappoint her, and at that moment I knew I disappointed her, and it made me so sad. So he was trying to calm her down and was just like, "There's options. You can do abortion, adoption, or anything like that." And then he also told us, I'm like early on, and I had a really bad UTI, which could possibly cause my fetus to die. And he's like, "So there's a chance it probably won't even make it." And I kind of cried because, like, knowing, like, oh, I just found out I was pregnant, yes, and so I was in shock, but, like, knowing I created something and it could die, I was kind of heartbroken by that. And so, like, my mom was just, she didn't want to talk to me. Like, she really didn't talk to me for a couple of days. And she kept coming around to it, but then she went back to not, like, agreeing with it. But so she was really mad at me. She didn't talk to me for a couple of days. And then when she finally told my step family is when she came along, because they were like supporting it. I was like, oh yeah, like she'll be fine. She'll be a great mom. She can still graduate, and everything will be fine. So she came around with it, and that, like, my step family is really what made her like excited about it. I think she was just nervous because I was 17 and she didn't like want people to like look at her as a bad mom. So when people like were okay with it, I think that's when she calmed down, was like, yeah, we got this. So she came into the room after talking to my step family, was like, so you want to keep it? And I was like, of course, like, it's my baby. So we ended up keeping him, and he's obviously, you see him in the beginning of the video, he's 16 months old, and he has a little brother. I also got pregnant like right after I got pregnant with him. So I was 18, and then I had him at 18. So I'm going to do another video about me being 18 and pregnant, and that's pretty much how I found out about my 17 and pregnancy. If you have any questions, please ask, and just comment below, like, subscribe, and I will make another video answering any questions you have about this. And I'm also going to make it 18 and pregnant. And if you have any other suggestions I want to make, please comment below, and I would love to do them for you. And here's my son again. What is it? What is it? Look. Look. Oh. Say bye. Say bye. Look, say bye. Yeah, bye. Say subscribe. Say subscribe to mommy.